When can you use copyrighted animation legally? Imagine creating a cartoon or animated video and wondering if you can use someone else's animation without getting into trouble. That's a common question in the animation world. Let's break down when you can use copyrighted animation legally so you can stay safe and creative. First, copyright protection kicks in automatically the moment an animated work is fixed in a tangible form. That means if someone draws a character, makes a scene, or creates a sequence and records it on video or digital file, it's protected. You cannot use that work without permission unless you meet certain conditions. The most straightforward way is to get explicit permission from the copyright owner. This usually involves a license agreement that states how you can use the animation, for what purposes, and whether you need to pay a fee. For example, if you want to include a character from a copyrighted cartoon in your project, you need to ask the owner for a license. Sometimes, licensing can involve paying a fee or sharing revenue from your project. Another way to use copyrighted animation legally is through fair use. Fair use allows limited use of copyrighted works without permission for purposes like commentary, criticism, education, or parody. But fair use is tricky and judged case by case. Factors include how much of the work you use, whether your use is transformative, and if it affects the original work's market. For instance, making a parody that comments on the original animation can be protected under fair use, as long as it adds new meaning or humor. Using content that is in the public domain is another option. If the animation was created long ago and the copyright has expired, it's free to use. Also, some animations are released under licenses like Creative Commons, which allow reuse if you follow their rules. These licenses might require giving credit or not using the work commercially. If you want to create derivative works, like spin-offs or adaptations based on existing animation, you need permission from the original copyright holder. Without it, your use could be considered infringement. Lastly, registering your own animation with the Copyright Office can strengthen your legal position if someone copies your work. Registration makes it easier to sue for damages if your rights are violated. Remember, respecting copyright helps protect the effort and creativity behind animated characters, stories, and visuals. Always ask for permission, understand fair use, and follow licensing rules. When in doubt, seek legal advice, especially if you plan to use animation for commercial purposes or in public projects. So, you can use copyrighted animation legally if you have permission, if your use qualifies as fair use or parody, or if the work is in the public domain or licensed for reuse. Staying informed and respectful keeps the animation industry thriving and fair for everyone.